Hi and welcome back. I'm Carly from Soundside Studios. Today I have a special tarot reading for you. It's February and we have our eye on Valentine's Day, so let's see what the cards have in store for you. We have a special layout for February, which honors all the sources of love in our life, but does have an emphasis on romantic relationships. Most of my time is spent working with women in the world of tarot, and frequently when I ask what they want to work on, their first reaction is to say career. Love life comes next. Many times they actually want to talk about love life first. They just feel like they shouldn't or it's not allowed. So one thing I love about February is that we get to dive in. Let's talk about love. Let's talk about relationships, and let's support you in getting what you want in that area of your life. Here's our layout. First, we're going to look at how you're feeling in the world of dating and romance. If you're single, then this takes the temperature on if you're feeling ready to date. If you're attached, this can let us know how things are going, if your needs are being met, and if you're satisfied. We'll look at what to release in the world of relationships in order for you to feel successful and where to put your focus. So if you're attached, this card is about how to lean into your partner and lean into that relationship. If you're single, this is the quality to look for in a new partner if you're feeling ready to date. If you're single and not interested in dating, what to prioritize in your life. We'll use those three contexts as we go. I'll take care of that. On our bottom, we're going to look at how you're doing with your platonic friendships, your familial relationships, and the relationship you have with yourself. In our very center, this is an energetic card for the emotional and spiritual energy that we want to embrace for the rest of February in this space. Let's take a deep breath to center. And let's set the intention that we may see things as they are and not as we want them to be, for you to be successful and fulfilled emotionally in this area of your life. Are you ready? I am. Let's dive in. Taking the temperature. Woohoo! 9 of Wands. This card often represents fatigue. The 9 of Wands is a character who's a little worn out. Not exhausted, not done, but definitely tired out. They've been fighting a fight. They still have energy, but in order to use it well, they're choosing to step back from the battle and re-strategize. In doing so, they're deciding what isn't worth their energy anymore. Our wands represent energy. And here our character is leaning on one of her wands and looking, kind of assessing where she needs to go next with the special energy that she still has left. So I would recommend that you take stock of what's draining you. Maybe it has nothing to do with relationships, but if you're feeling a little bit tired out in life, then maybe this isn't a time when you can really show up with all your needs met, and the ability to put your best self forward. Keep that in mind, because the people you meet here, you might build an attachment or relationship with that is more based in clinginess or just kind of getting your needs met, being a little bit coming from a space of lack rather than a space of plenty and abundance and truly choosing somebody. So our 9 of Wands is an encouragement to honor where you're feeling tired and to not overextend yourself for the sake of dating or relationships. Rather, acknowledge what you need, re-strategize how you're using your energy, and plan how you're going to take care of yourself and meet your own needs rather than becoming reliant on partners. Let's look at what you could be less worried about. Okay, the King of Wands is a character that I usually liken to somebody like Ted Lasso. So a coach that's good at motivating other people and tries to put out high energy and get other people fired up. How do we interpret this? You are not responsible for anyone else's success, period. The person you're dating, the person that you're married to, It's up to them for them to be successful. It's not for you to give them your energy. You're already tired out. That's the Nine of Wands. So why would you be their biggest cheerleader and their biggest supporter? Make sure you can each stand on your own. Be honest about where your limitations are in terms of what you can offer, and don't prioritize them and their success over your own. I think you need your energy right now. Let's look at our upcoming card. So, where to put your focus for success. For all of my single girlies out there, the Knight of Cups is about keeping your standards high. This is what I call our knight in shining armor. The Knight of Cups is an encouragement to be a dreamer, an optimist, and believe in best case scenarios. I know it can feel very hard to feel romantic, to believe in best cases when you're tired out, when you've been let down, when you've been disappointed. But do not give up. The Knight of Cups is a reminder to let that dreamer live. The wands represent our energy and our ambition. Maybe you've taken a few hits to your ego, to your spirit, and you feel like you're running on empty right now. That means now is the time to receive. Receive inspiration, receive some emotional love, be buoyed and supported by your Delulu imagination. Live in your fantasy world for a little bit. Feel how good things can be. Imagine the right type of person. If you can visualize those scenarios, I know it might seem absolutely delusional, but it could really help you get through this challenging rough patch until more energy is flowing in. If you are married or if you are attached, the Knight of Cups is a reminder to make space for romance. Plan a picnic. Plan and do something that's out of the ordinary. Leave cell phones at home and go out to dinner. Go to a great movie. Do something that feels like a true date night and that really feels great. Wear an amazing outfit. Make sure that you're leaning into that element of romance and just the early stages of dreaming. The early stages of a relationship, which is a little bit based in your dreams, based in your hopes and your fantasies. So that is our Knight of Cups. Let's look at other sources of emotional support this month. Your friendships. Ooh, more wands. So the Knight of Wands is a very show-off type character. I call them a show horse. Think of this as celebrity energy like Harry Styles or the confidence that Kanye West had in the early 2000s. It's that level of just chutzpah and desire to be in the spotlight and desire to be seen. With your friends, go big, have some fun, be sassy, bring out your personality and your swagger. That's a safe place to play. And don't be afraid to bring out new dynamics of yourself, that if you were to meet somebody brand new, they might wonder who you really are, but your friends are going to find it entertaining and cheer you on as you explore this type of boldness. When it comes to the relationships with your family, sometimes we need to be closer to family and sometimes we need to step farther away. So the Hermit is a character who's willing to go off on her own path. Here she's closing the laptop. That represents her closing connection to the outside world. And the star is her following her own path. She's guiding herself. We love family, but sometimes our family keeps us in a particular box. And in comparing these two cards, I think spending time with friends right now might feel more liberating, more adventurous, and more energizing. Especially since we don't have a lot of energy right now, this might be a great opportunity to refill those supplies. And family might just need to take a back burner. Let them know you're going to step away for a bit. You may not call as often as you used to, but nothing's wrong, right? Make sure people know everything's okay, but it's okay if you need a little more space to yourself. And finally, let's talk about the relationship with yourself. This one's very important. The King of Swords. Complete shift in the energy here. Our swords represent our intellect and our thoughts, and the King of Swords is a very direct individual. They're very intellectual. They're up in their head a lot. They're clear about what their plans are. I always consider the King of Swords to be like a military commander. They're a little rough. They don't care about how you feel. They care about getting the job done. So, strike a good balance between being gentle and compassionate with yourself and knowing when to push yourself. It might be that you just need to get shit done. And that's what this King of Swords represents. Build your strategy, prioritize what needs to happen, and execute it. Do not look back, do not look down. If you're stressed right now, if you're feeling tired out, you are your best worker, you are your best boss, you are your best mentor right now. Listen to what the next steps are that you feel in your gut instinct are right for you. Stay attentive, be focused, and once you have your plan and your strategy, put it into action. This is a great opportunity to know how you can rely on yourself, that you have your own back, that you can do what you say you're going to do. This builds a sense of trust within yourself. Once you know what your plan is, the only step next is to execute it. If you're having trouble with those steps, maybe adjust the plan. Do you need to break down the goal so that it's more accessible with smaller steps? Do you need to seek out resources from other places? Be loving to yourself. You don't have to be disciplined or harsh as you do this, but it is about thinking through how can you be successful and accomplish what you've set for yourself. I know that this was a reading about relationships, but it looks like a really significant part of this is showing up for you and knowing that you can take care of this. You've got this. You can handle what's happening one step at a time. Last but not least, let's look at an overall emotional and spiritual energy to have as you move into this month. The Six of Pentacles, material and spiritual prosperity. You know, today is the New Year in the Chinese lunar calendar, and it's a year of the dragon. And it's rumored that this is a year for many people where there will be more prosperity, more success, things working out. Especially if you have this mindset, if you're clear on knowing what it is that you want and how you want to work towards it, perhaps this is that payoff. Look at the resources you already have, the money, the energy, the time, the relationships around you, the love in your life, the people that want to be a part of your life, and recognize it as the abundance that it is. Living in a space where you constantly feel like you don't have enough, well, that only is going to create a sense of panic. And so see what you do have. Have a very conscious bias towards the positive. Acknowledge it. And I think it needs to be holistic. It's not just in relationships, it's more holistic. Because when you're balanced and calm as a person, when you feel like you have enough and you're good, then you're going to build relationships that are more ideal. Relationships that are balanced, that see you as a full person and support you. And that's going to be far better than a relationship that recognizes where you're lacking and having somebody kind of hook into that empty space and exploit that need or use that against you. So, material and spiritual prosperity, our Six of Pentacles, is the theme for this month. Every day, recognize what you have. Hot, fresh coffee, great. The ability to turn on your air conditioning when necessary, ooh, isn't that phenomenal? A working car, great friends, a grocery store with all the food you need. These are things that are so simple. The opportunity to take a deep breath of fresh air, right? Enjoy those things, and I think you'll see and feel more love coming into your life, more support, more people that meet you where you are and remind you that you have everything you need to live the life you want to live. Embrace that now. Your mind is very powerful. So when you are coming from a space that says, I'm well, I'm good, I'm comfortable, you're going to see more proof of that fact, and you're going to bring people towards you that support that idea and that energy. Our brains are very powerful. We have very strong imaginations, so we can imagine worst case scenarios, which may tire us out, or we can imagine best case scenarios, which can energize us and prepare us to see those opportunities, prepare us to see those people that will bring positive emotional energy and love into our lives. I encourage us to do that. Even if it's been a tough January for you, February is a time to take control of your thoughts and your mind and let it build out those imaginations you have so that you can see the opportunities when they're here for you, and you can live in a more emotional and you can live in an emotional space of comfort. So that is our February reading for you. I hope you got some good guidance from those cards. And there is your February reading. What resonated most with you from the cards? Leave me a comment. Let me know. Like and subscribe, and follow me on my socials to stay in touch. I'll see you next time. Happy reading.